Woo! That's nice, Doug. There he is.
Beams on this deer are just incredible, Bob.
And all I saw was this part right here, and the sun was shining.
It was the water called South Georgia Hog. Fishing in the hog pen. Welcome to Georgia Outdoor News Television. We've got a great show for you this week. We're going to the Georgia coast for some unbelievable tarpon fishing. Georgia coast offers some unbelievable fishing, and some of the most exciting, heart-pounding, rod-bending action comes from the big tarpon that make their way up the coast every summer. I was behind the camera on this trip, and there were several times I thought these huge fish were going to jump right in the boat with us. Let's join fisheries biologist Les Ager and tarpon guide Mike Kennedy on an awesome Georgia fishing adventure in search of the Silver King.
We've anchored, you said it's a big sandbar in the middle of the sound here?
This sound is just covered with sandbars. What we did though, this sandbar kind of runs off the point here, and we are on the south side of it, and what we're hoping is all the fish are running up that sandbar, and we're right off the drop off where the sandbar ends and opens up into the ocean. So
Which sound is this?
this is St. Andrews Sound.
And that's
Little Cumberland, and then
Island
Cumberland,
Jekyll Island,
and
right
then
here.
Jekyll.
Yeah. Let's fish. Get a bait out.
I'm ready.
Mike had really been on the fish the past few days, putting several nice tarpon in the boat on previous charters. Shortly after dropping anchor, the big pin reels were singing.
There he is.
Oh, yeah,
that's a
there
good
it
one.
goes.
There's a good one. Oh, we got him on here too. We got the double. We got the double.
Oh, wow. That's a big fish there. You got a fish too?
Yeah.
I know
Les has the big
I've
fish.
got one big fish here. That fish is probably 140, 50 pounds. Oh, coming over to the right. He's already jumped several times.
He's gonna jump.
You see where I've got the rod.
I got
right
a
at it.
dink shark, so don't worry about me.
Oh man, he came off.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Dadgummit.
Before anchoring on the sandbar, Les and Mike had to locate some bait. Atlantic menhaden, or pogies, are a tarpon favorite and easily found along the entire coast. Big schools of pogies can be located by watching for diving terns and pelicans. Mike put several dozen pogies in the live well and the rest in a cooler to be used later for chum.
I've never seen a place that has more bait at certain times of the year than the Georgia coast here. I just think, they can be picky, the fish, about the size and the fish they want to eat.
Yeah.
There's just so much for them to choose from.
Well, it makes sense to fish with the thing that they're used to seeing the most, and that they're eating naturally. Like you putting a lot of pogies in the water. Why chumming's really important for these fish?
Yeah, it is, as long as there aren't any of the smaller fish around like jacks or ladyfish to attract them. Just really attracts them to the area. There's a lot of water out here, and kind of want them behind the boat here. A lot of times you'll see them follow up from behind the boat. They'll come up the chum line, boil,
Come
boil,
right
boil.
to the boat. Almost.
Come right to the boat.
Not out. Didn't feel like what we came to fish for. Now, that wasn't a tarpon, was it, Mike?
No,
that's too torn up a bait.
You can see where the tooth mark was on this fish right here.
Little shark?
Little shark. Tarpon don't have teeth, and they'll come back crushed. I mean, just mangled.
Yeah.
With no tooth marks.
Strong jaws, but no teeth.
Strong jaws, no teeth.
Yeah.
Throw in for the
Okay.
chum.
Another pogie. On the big fish. Can't get it out of the water.
Watch closely. Les and Mike have 3 fish on at the same time.
Got another.
Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah. Those fish is jumping. Mine's come off. Oh, he's right here. Oh, he's right by the boat.
Oh, my
Look
God,
out.
I got
God
it.
almighty.
Jesus!
Here he comes. Oh, there he goes. He's still coming close to the boat. He's not ready to come up yet. Coming to the boat.
Just follow him around, stay even with him.
Hey, coming up. Oh yeah, pretty. Nice fish too. Don't worry about me landing. Just worry about him jumping in the boat.
Did you see him almost jump in the boat there?
Yeah. Yeah, he tried his best to swim right in the boat when we first hooked him. You see him?
He's gonna jump here again. Right about.
How big is that fish?
He's a little guy. He's about, 50, 60 pounds. There he goes.
Okay.
There he goes.
Okay, hold on for a minute.
Oh!
Oh.
You
That
gotta,
was
immediately, kinda. Because I don't know, when I grab that leader, he could pop off like that.
Yeah. He fought back pretty effectively. He soaked us both. May have
I
ruined
thought
it.
he was coming in the boat.
May have ruined the camera. I've always thought it was easiest to catch pogies bait on the low tide. But now we've come out this morning on almost a dead high tide.
The bait here seems to be at high tide, it's up along the beach, and at low tide, it's out offshore a little ways. They just go in and out, and that's the same thing the fish do too. I mean, they go high tide, they're going to be inshore a bit. Low tide, they're going to be a little farther offshore.
So all our fishing this morning is going to be on the outgoing tide. Is that
This
a
is
good
all
tide?
outgoing. Excellent tide. It's been very good.
But you catch them on the incoming as well?
Yep, that's an excellent tide too. There's a lot of fish here, and the tide necessarily isn't all that important. You like the tide running. I find you catch a lot more fish in that mid-tide area when that tide is just cooking.
That makes sense if you're chumming.
Oh! Tarpon! Flash, come on.
You get him. I'm
Oh my gosh!
good fish. Good fish. Where are you going to let him
Les,
leave?
you get some more baits out.
I believe that fish is going to whip you.
I don't know who's more tired. I didn't come out here to fish, so see, you knew this was a big fish, so that's why you put me out. That's why you didn't want
I
it.
had the last one. You can have one. Oh, you got him coming.
Tarpon guide Mike Kennedy was manning the rods when this 70-pound Silver King exploded on a pogie in St. Andrews Sound. After 10 minutes, Mike nearly has the fish landed. Mike had the fish close to the boat several times, close enough to soak the camera.
Oh!
Yes. I'm coming. Bring him right here. This is pretty exotic stuff. What are all these knots and
What I've got here is I've got 40-pound test with 300 yards on it. With a smooth drag is important. You know, those inexpensive reels of drag will go and you'll lose a lot of fish like that. You want a nice smooth drag. Anywhere from a 7, and people use 9-foot rods. You know, the longer the rod, the more leverage you're going to get. And 7 being the minimum, and 8 or 9 being the longest. Running to a bimini twist here, which makes a double line going into my swivel. The reason I do that is it creates 100% knot strength. This is a 125-pound test leader, And the
Just
reason you do it is the tarpon has a sandpapery mouth, and they'll rub through, they'll rub through this. You had a fish today go right through it. Rub through a 125-pound test with a live bait hook, which is a 9/0, on a loop, which creates it to swing so the bait can kind of swim the hook a little easier.
And if you're going to fish this rig on the bottom, you'll put an egg sinker
Put an egg sinker
part
right
way
in
down
here,
the leader
tie
and
a knot there,
just tie a little knot to keep you from going all the way to the hook.
Yeah. Or if I were to float it, I'd put a little float on here.
Yeah.
And we're not floating any today, but you do have quite a bit of luck on a float rig.
Yeah, tarpon really look up a lot. They're looking for baits near the surface.
Yep, they are. Like, you're either going to get them on top, in the middle, or on the bottom. So when you go out and start fishing, you want a bait that's going to be at all levels. Right now we have 3 kind of in the middle towards the top because that's where most of ours are hitting. But this morning we had 2 and 2, or 2, 1 and 1 on all levels. So.
Till we saw what the fish wanted.
Yeah, till we figured out what level.
Okay.
It was on.
Maybe we'll get another fish on here in a minute. How soon in the summer do you see tarpon showing up on the Georgia coast?
June. Someone will land the first fish end of May, June.
But they really get abundant the end of June, first
end
of July.
June, July, and August. If I had to pick one month, I would, I used to say August, but now, after this July's been unbelievable. So, July's been just as good.
And when will they leave?
They'll leave. The last fish I caught, I think, was October 4th last year. What time is it?
Not even 11 o'clock
Not
yet.
even 11 o'clock.
And we've hooked up
I'd say
8 or 9
8
fish.
or 9 fish. And
3 right at the boat.
3 right at the boat, brought to the boat. And
How much longer in this tide? Another hour?
let's see, 8, 9,
2.
2. We got probably about another hour of good fishing time.
Okay.
And then after that, it's just that slack tide. We're not sure where they go after this. This is pretty much the farthest point that we can get on them on an outgoing tide. And there will be, at low tide, there will be, single fish scattered all over the place, but not in concentration.
After a great morning, Mike and Les were running low on bait and it was almost time to head in. But Mike had one more spot he wanted to try before calling it a day.
Mike, we've removed again now. We've just sort of been coming out with the tide. Is that what these fish are doing, coming out of the sound as the tide falls?
Yep, they're all falling out here offshore, and we're just on a little ledge out here and hopefully pick something up.
We're about, 2, 3 miles off the beach?
Yeah.
How far out do these fish go, or at least how far out will they go and you can still find them?
After they leave here, this is about it.
Is this the last shallow spot that you can expect to concentrate them?
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully they'll grace us with their presence. Oh, okay, that's a giant tarpon right there.
Uh-oh.
That is a giant tarpon!
I should have set the hook on that fish, shouldn't I? This is after the better part of the falling tide.
Yep, dead tide. Really pretty much a dead tide. That's a big fish.
Coming up.
Ashley.
Oh yeah, that's a nice fish too.
Isn't that pretty in the clean water?
It is, a beautiful fish. Silver King.
Walk them around.
Watch out, coming around.
That's a good fish.
Oh, he wanted to go back to the bottom.
I'm guessing 120.
He must not have seen the name on the bottom of the boat. So he thinks he's whooping me, but I've got him.
He could be coming up for a jump here.
Oh yeah, pretty. He almost jumped in the boat.
He sure did.
Here he comes.
Got that. Oh yeah, is that a good picture?
Oh,
Here's your camera. When I grab the leader, you can go ahead and take it.
well, wait, he's not up yet. Just a second.
I got.
It's the end of a good day. One way or the other, it's going to be the end.
He's a landed fish.
Don't say that. I want my hands on that fish. There we go. Pretty fish. A great day. The fish that almost whooped us both.
That was a good fish.